Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy night to join me. I really appreciate that. Tonight, we're actually going to take some more minutes off of our lives, collectively, of course, because it is Vlogs About Nothing. And, the topic's been trending, so I kind of want to talk about it, you feel me? And then after we've talked about it, we'll move on with our lives and never talk about it again. Although I have a sneaky suspicion, as all of us do if we're familiar with the information that I'm about to present, in that I think the dude is going to end up having a high level cabinet position. You feel me? And wouldn't it be fitting for a Kennedy to have done nothing with their life just to get all of the perks of being, a leader in this country? First of all, as a good old American boy that has deep connections to not just my region, but some of the local political, families within that particular region, obviously, like one of them, for example, being George Bush, right? In terms of like, he's an East Coast kid raised on that part of the country who, migrated on down this way with his good old pops, who was the first George Bush president, and has now, made it so that they are a staple within the local community. Maybe not so much the former rest in peace George Bush Sr., moreover as like the son is, you feel me, as well as like just being a few hours away from some of the more powerful political families in the entire world, the Clintons and so forth. I got a lot of respect for the Kennedys, a lot of respect as in prohibition money coming from daddy and uncles, from on the other way of the like pond, through Massachusetts, and establishing a legacy and stuff. I'm not hating, you feel me? Like, not at all. I mean, the Kennedys definitely have immersed themselves and have done some really good things for this country, honestly. Not to mention the fact that, the youngest of all of them, the first one, the son of the one who had the fortune of using, some of this money that arguably came from dirty places to do good things, and that's JFK Jr. You feel me? Obviously, a Kennedy who did not even have the opportunity that he was given to perform in the way that he would have performed, right? And so, like, I don't know, women, they mess up everything, you feel me? I'm just saying, I was just talking about that, and no offense to the women, you understand what I'm saying? But it's sort of like, I mean, would JFK still be alive if Marilyn Monroe wasn't a part of the picture? I mean, it's likely. It's very likely, I mean, not to say that he wasn't already a very disliked guy by many people who were trying to keep the status quo at that time. You feel me? He did what he could. Like, as a person under the age of 40, as somebody who's not even that age, but like around that same age as it concerns just like given all of this power, while like all these people are actively like literally trying to unalive you because of the things that you've done or that you do in your personal life. I mean, talk about haters, you know what I mean? Some serious haters. But I think all those guys fall right along the lines of not resting in peace with Mr. Kissinger down there. Hey Henry, how you doing? Is Satan treating you well? Is it warm down there? I mean, seriously, with all due respect, no respect. Sorry, not sorry, Mr. Kissinger. The only good thing you ever did was tell Richard Nixon that using nuclear bombs was not like the first thing to do when approaching conflict. It's sort of like, do we really have to thank Henry Kissinger for being the guy that told Richard Nixon not to drop nukes on Vietnam? I guess, for what it is, credit where credit is due. Thank you, Mr. Kissinger. The one good thing you've done for the entire world was just to say no that one time. And we really appreciate that. So, I think Robert Kennedy Jr., and obviously it took a 4 minute sidebar to even get into the subject matter of what tonight's video is about, which obviously not is not barraging on the Kennedys, who again are a wonderful family. I mean, I've heard many good things about the Kennedys. I've traveled extensively to the East Coast. I see that their presence is very much, embedded with the local population. And I mean, again, like, credit where credit is due. They've done a lot of good stuff for this country. But to say that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is one of the guys who did some, good service for our country is false. This man, like came out of nowhere from last year, right, as an independent candidate to, the two-party major system. And now the guy is withdrawing so that he doesn't negatively influence the election in a way that makes Kamala Harris look good. I mean, what kind of a politician is that? Like, dude, you flip flop so much, you may as well be a Birkenstock. You feel me? Like, I just don't understand how a person can like legit flip on a dime, like leaving constituents just like, I mean, I'm Robert F. Kennedy, and if all of the skeletons in my closet could be alive, they would be enough to have a grown army. It's sort of like the biggest army in the world. It's sort of like, dude, I mean, talk about being shameless, but like, all of us do not have the privilege of being a Kennedy and using that to our interests in that, we seriously have some baggage. You feel me? As in, like, an ex wife unaliving herself because of your recorded step five, sobriety program entries into the truth of you being like a crazy womanizer. I mean, dude, like, do you even have time to like read over bills or like talk to your constituents? I mean, just because like I don't know, it takes a little bit of time to get a little bit of love, and I mean, this guy's getting love 5, 6 times a day. Is sort of like, men, where does your energy go? I mean, did you forget what it was like to be 13 years old and in the comfort and privacy of your own home, without destroying people's lives? It's called the internet, and the most visited trafficked websites on this planet are adult friendly. You know what I mean? So like, jump on the bandwagon, like, be less harmful to yourself, stop destroying lives, stop being a person that makes it so that you're so toxic you literally make people unalive themselves. Dude, that's not a joke, that's the truth. And like, the truth of the matter is, this man is obviously like so twisted and messed up that he's trying to withdraw his name from the ballot so that he can support Donald Trump. Like, how do you go from being against somebody to being like their right hand? You feel me? I mean, I guess the 19th century version of politicians, they do these things, keep your friends close but your enemies closer. It's like, what a stupid thing to say. Really? Yeah, let's do that. Let's keep our friends close but our enemies closer. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of wanting to win, and being a real champion. But yeah, sure, let's all collude. Yes, pro-fascism. No, never. Just joking. But you see what I'm saying? You feel me? It's sort of like, who cares about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? And the only fact and the only reason that we do need to care about him now is because the dude has made it so that he is trying, again, to actively support a candidate who like committed treason against all of the residents that reside within the borders of this sovereign nation, and that concerns me. Honestly, to be honest, before January 6th, Trump was just another politician. You feel me? Like, it was what it was. Like, and it still is what it is. But he crossed that line. And, again, no Trump, no Kennedy, no Bush, no Obama, no Clinton. Nobody has the power and the authority in this country to do something so foolish. Like, seriously, like, dude, you need therapy, not another 4 years in office. You feel me? Like, seriously. And you should be honestly thanking, like, something every single day that you're able to enjoy your freedom at the cost and continued cost of all the people that you exploited over the last 8 years and have always, ever, and forever will exploit, Like, honestly, like, what more do you want, dude? Well, you want to be president again for another 4 years. And while you're at it, you want to make people like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., members of the cabinet that are going to have like a lot of power and they don't deserve it because of the people that they are. So yeah, politicians, it's on. You know what I mean? Character is all that you have. It's all that you have. We live in an age where you can't just say one thing and then go Anthony Weiner it up and pretend like nothing is wrong. You feel me? Like that time is over. Being a politician moving forward will require being responsible, will require doing the right thing, and will require being open and transparent. I don't want to continue to elect corrupt officials who don't care about us. Like legit, you know? Like that's like some straight up insane stuff to do and I don't want to be insane, you know? As much as I enjoy dancing in my room and singing at the top of my lungs all by my lonesome, you feel me? Which arguably is a little, nuts. I'm not trying to be a part of a world that continues to elect people that don't deserve their freedom, much less an opportunity to destroy other people's opportunities to live their best lives. Again, where I come from, when you come out of court and you're not in jail, you just are happy to be, in the outside world, prison area, planet ish kind of, outside area, seriously. Because like when you're black or brown and or marginalized poor and like poor white or whatever, you always run the risk of running into Uncle Sam at a bad time, as it concerns like him locking you up for a petty offense, and again, what good are you when you're in jail and people like Robert F. Kennedy are, going to be like heads of the CIA. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. If this man again is going to be appointed or, like in any way kind of shape or form champion to be a cabinet member position, like I don't know, you feel me? Like Trump's already enough, but like having Robert F. Kennedy join that Trump team is kind of like, like Satan recruiting LeBron. You feel me? Like it's really not in our best interest. And honestly, it's super unfair to compare LeBron James to Robert F. Kennedy, so I'm terribly sorry to LeBron James. You feel me? Let's stick with more of like somebody we've never heard of that is very nepotistic and just sort of rides on the coattails of a long lasting family legacy and not doing it any justice. Just simply straight up throwing it into the ground, burying it, not caring, and continuing to put out the perception of like this egotistical, sort of like rambunctious guy who, quite honestly, like, I don't even understand what this dude's saying. Like, is that bad? Am I a bad person? Like, sorry, dude, you had like a worm in your brain or whatever. I mean, that he had a worm in his brain. He ate too many tuna sandwiches. I mean, how ludicrous can you be? And I guess I just answered my own question. The crazier we are, the better jobs we get. Just forget all of what I said, Let's all just eat lots of tuna sandwiches and then claim on the stand in front of a jury of our peers that we have mercury poisoning because of, the dirty tuna that we've consumed. Eating so much tuna, Anyways, I could talk for a long time about why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is one of the worst of the worst offenders as it concerns somebody who does not deserve a public position in any kind of a capacity, especially now that he's publicly going after a Democrat just so that the worst of the worst in those two major parties can succeed, become elected to office, and appoint his, old behind to do something important. I mean, how fitting would that be? God bless the United States of America. So, I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thanks again for watching my channel. If you're not already a subscriber, consider subscribing. It takes just a couple of seconds. If at the very least you liked anything at all of what you just heard, give it a thumbs up. It helps out the channel a bunch. Also, I have an active Patreon account, so I encourage you to look me up there. So have a good night, everyone, and 2 more videos. Bye.